the hardest vocal techniques that we do. One of them I would say would be the airy gravel.
Yeah.
With the look at it, wow. The airy gravel, to do that, it's not, most people can do it, but the hard part is to be able to do it without damaging your voice and to be able to control the tone while doing it. Look at it, wow.
It's similar to doing vocal scream, almost.
Yeah, where it's like, just about anyone can do it, but the hard part is to be able to control it and not damage your voice. Is to be able to do it and do both of those two things is what makes it hard. It's like with Pink, where, yeah, her stuff seems relatively easy to sing, but here's the thing. One, try doing it yourself. You can't recreate it. It's a lot more, it seems a lot easier than it is. And two, she's doing it while doing acrobatics. It's like, oh, well, it seems so easy. Yeah, but try doing it while being able to control it and not damaging your voice.
Yeah, because think of it. So many rock singers end up destroying their voices.
Or like, think of it where like, I can do this where if I'm looking at two different notes next to each other, I can switch notes instantaneously without doing any riff or any grading. I can just go pop. But that's actually a lot harder to do. But when you listen to it, it sounds really choppy. So if you're listening to it and it's in a warm-up, it's really weird and jarring. But if you use it right, or if you're an actual music person, you know, that's really hard to do. Like, it's really impressive to be able to jump without any sort of change where it's just instantly jump. To do an instant jump while singing, it might not sound the best, but it's impressive and it shows control. Sometimes in singing, it's not always about how it sounds, sometimes it's about technique.
Especially if you're jumping from a lower octave to a higher octave.
Yeah. It's like, some people, they don't listen to music just for the craft. Some people don't listen just for the vibes of it. Some people listen to it because of the craft. And that's a technique that's used not for the vibes, but for the craft.
Yeah.
Because it's something that a niche audience can appreciate. Being if you actually sing and you know different techniques, you know, wow, that's impressive. But other people, they'll be like, ooh, that sounds off. But then music people are like, how'd you do that? That's impressive, man.
Yeah.
And then some of yours is going low with the gravel, because we can both do gravel without damaging our voices. And that's the hard part. It's not damaging, it's to be able to control it and not damage your voice. We can both flare it at different amplitudes and not damage our throats.
Yes.
You try doing that.
So it's like, see, it's easier when you go into like a vocal fry for that low, so it's easier to control.
But vocal cry, you have to be very careful, because if you don't do it right, you will damage your voice. Just look at Sting or Axl Rose. Axl Rose, great on.
Or your average metal singer.
Those are metal singers, buddy. Not heavy metal, but soft metal.
True.
But, or if you think about some, like, Broadway singers that don't take care of their voices, they destroy it. What was the Broadway singer that they destroyed their voice?
I'm trying to think. This is bad.
Oh, and also, even while doing musicals, they also record bits where that they do pre-recorded. So, like, if you're doing Phantom at the opera and you're playing Christine, they pre-record the, and then, Angel music. And the, they pre-record that because they know the person's not going to be able to do that every single time, every single take for 6 days a week. And some days more, like, they already pre-record that. They do that a lot in shows where it'll be the person playing it singing that. It's a pre-recorded take.
Yeah, because that is a pretty high note that you gotta hit.
Like, even the professionals, they can't do it every single time. Yeah, and that's even if they're warmed up. They still can't do it every single time. They know that. They just hide it well because they know what is the limitations of themselves, and they prepare for it. So, because they have the money to do so. If you don't have that money to do it, it seems a lot more weird. Which is why the professionals, when they're training someone else, they're just like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. Versus if it's someone who's just listening to music and doesn't know anything about music, they're a lot meaner to people. The people who think they know stuff about it but don't actually, those are always the meanest, and that's in every category. The people who think they know everything but don't. So you have the people who they know nothing. You have the people who go a little bit, so then they think, okay, yeah, I know a little bit. Then you have the ones who go a little bit more, and they think, talking, and then they have, yeah, no, I think I know everything, and then you're the ones who get even more, and then you're the ones who are like further who go, like, yeah, I know I'm good, but I also know there's a lot more to learn. And then the people who master it, and they're just like, I don't know anything. That goes for any subject.
The two most important things when you're a singer or when you're a Broadway person, know your voice and know your boundaries.
Yeah, and that's also why musicians, like the professional ones, why we don't judge other musicians on like other people do. We appreciate them and we can give critiques, but the main thing and most that will critique is saying, hey, be careful, because we don't know how well they know their words, but we can tell, hey, if I did that, I would damage my voice, so make sure you weren't doing that as a precaution. It's not saying it's not bad, it's saying, hey, be careful, I don't know your voice, but if that was me doing that, I would really mess up my voice. Hey, be careful.
Like, y'all, don't sing when you have a cold. That's just a bad idea waiting to happen.
Yesterday, I got called old
very bad
because I was listening to Sade.
Come on, do as we say, not as we do.
Exactly.
And because I knew...
We give it advice. We try to follow it, but we're too stubborn to do so. And that's about with anything. So those are tips, and if you want to critique more, try researching more. We're not saying this to be mean, we're trying to say this to someone who knows their own voice, but even the professionals, they don't critique each other that much because they know more, and they just give advice saying, hey, if I did this will mess up my throat. I don't know you, but I want you to be careful. It's out of concern, not out of meanness.
Listen to others' concern. Please don't be a stubborn ass.
Yeah. So be nice. You can list concern. Constructive criticism. Great, but the moment you can be, which what we're saying is, we aren't saying that you can't give criticism, which means, yeah, you can tell us, hey, we could do this better, this is how we could do it better. But do it with intent of wanting to make the person get better. Don't do it because you want to tear them down. If you're going to say something like that, you're doing it wrong, give them a reason so we can improve on it instead of you just being, because if you don't give a reason on how we can improve on it, it's just being mean. The trick is to give, hey, you can maybe improve on this. You can tell us there's something wrong with it. We're fine with that. Musicians love that. But don't tell us you're bad, because that's pointless. One, it's not helping us. Two, it's hurtful and mean. And three, cool. It makes you come off as mean and a jerk, but also, you don't get to learn anything from it. You just come off really bad, and we are just like, cool, your talent is bad, but how do we fix that? We can't know if you're being serious or if you're just being mean. We'll take you seriously if you give us a reason explanation.
If you're criticizing someone, either try to actually help them or give them ideas on how to improve. Don't just say, oh, you sound like shit.
Yeah, just like back it up. Back up your claim. Because if you don't back up your claim, we don't know how to fix it. And that's not helpful. That's just hurting everyone.
Yeah.
So bye. Take that to heart.
Peace.